Welcome, all you surfing enthusiasts, to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today, Huntington Beach Pier. After a long time of visitors and going to Alaska, I'm back in the water on a regular basis, it seems. And it's summertime, and it's just before the U.S. Open of Surfing here at Surf City, Huntington Beach. So the water is very crowded. I don't know if I didn't see a lot of pros in the water on the north side. They might have been on the south side practicing because the women's championship tour comes through here next week. So they're practicing, but on the north side, didn't see a lot of too high-profile surfers. There was a lot of people, though, very crowded right next to the pier. We drifted down further north because that's the way the current was going, and we got down to the condos, and we seemed to find a few places that we can catch some waves without too many people being in the way. So it's about head high to, I don't know. No, it was probably, I'd say shoulder or waist to shoulder most of the time. Then occasionally one would come in. And then there was one rogue wave that came in that was really big. And of course it caught me inside and took me for a little ride I wasn't counting on. I can't remember if I was upside down, sideways, or backwards. But I eventually surfaced and me and my board were still together. So we paddled out and caught a few more after that. But for the most part, they're coming real strong out of the south. So there's kind of an angle, like about a 15 to 20% angle coming out of the south. So all the waves are pretty much lefts. I did manage to get a right, but I slipped off the nose after I made my bottom turn. I tried to come around. It wasn't falling back into the wave, so I tried to step forward to get it to grab. And I slipped and went right over the nose. And so it was pretty exciting for a second there. And then I'd say, like I say, the rest of them are all lefts because they're just coming out of the south, so much of an angle. But that's good because you can ride them pretty long most of the time. I got up on one, and the leash was caught between my toes. I got to figure out a way to prevent that. That's happening way too much. But the water's really warm, 70 to 72 degrees. When the sun comes out, around 7:38, it starts hitting you on the wetsuit, it gets really hot and uncomfortable. But when you're getting there early and there's no sun, a thin wetsuit is sufficient to keep you in pretty good shape. So I have a thin summer suit. There were some people there with just tops. There were some people there with no wetsuits. But for the most part, there was wetsuits. And I went out on Monday after I got back from Alaska. But it was 10:30 before I got in the water. And I had my wetsuit on, but it was too hot, and about 80% of the people did not have wetsuits on at that time of the day. So when the sun comes up, I'd recommend no wetsuit, but early in the morning, a thin one is sufficient. And then Monday was good. Tuesday was, that was Tuesday. Yeah, because we had flown all night on Monday. Got here late Tuesday morning, went out till about noon, and then Wednesday went out again, then today I went out again. So pretty much the same. It's supposed to start getting smaller, and the tide is supposed to be a little bit better tomorrow, so we shall see if that holds. But for the most part, excellent surfing conditions, warm water, no wind really to speak of. So really good weather, good warm water, nice surf. They're building the U.S. Open City, I call it. They've got a big store they put up. They've got booths coming in. They're working on the skate and bicycle ramps on the south end, and the judges' area and the bleachers have all gone up. They're just doing some detail work on it now, so by the end of the week, they should be pretty close. But the U.S. Open doesn't actually start till the following weekend, but there's probably going to be some qualifying for the wannabes to, if they do well in the qualifying, they can compete in the big contest. It's not a major event for the men, but it is a major event for the women. So the women's tour is going to be here, and they get championship points for that. So that'll be awesome. Then the men come in, not all of them. Kelly Slater broke his foot a couple of days ago, so he's out for quite some time. I don't know from the pictures of his Instagram, his foot is shattered, so they're going to have to screw that thing back together. That's going to put him on the sideline for a little bit of time. So, But the rest of the people are still in the water, so there'll be some great surfing. They're now in J Bay, and so they won't be surfing for a couple of weeks after that. I think they go to Tahiti after, and so they're not going to come here. There'll be a few of the pro surfers here for the men, but for the most part, the big names probably won't be here unless they need points. They can get qualifying points. They don't get championship points for surfing here, but during the U.S. Open. But they also could win a ton of money. So there's a lot of advantages to coming. So that's all we have on the surfing so far here. It's been just really warm, sunny weather. A few clouds in the morning, but they clear out by 9 o'clock. I did hear there was going to be some rain come in, so we'll have to see if that holds. So we'll just have to check the weather right now, on the other computer, and see what it looks like for Huntington Beach. Sunny, 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 mostly sunny. So that's the rest of the week, sunny. Water's warm, surf is good, it's getting smaller, but tide's getting lower, so it might still break. So we'll see. So until then, if I see you in the water, great. If I see you on the sand, even better. So keep in touch. We're going to be checking out our sponsors here, taskbullet.com for your office needs, and nappyclothing.com, and Swing Easy Hammocks. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the water. Thanks. Bye.